A question I get asked a lot is, can I get a message from somebody who's passed away? And I often think, what do you need to hear from them? Like, why do you need a message? Because when they're alive, you never wanted a message from somebody. And a lot of people think that when somebody has died, they think like they did when they were alive. How can somebody who's died think as they did when they were alive when they don't have a brain? Because I'm alive today. I'm thinking, and my brain, so everything I absorb, right? I'm using my senses. I absorb what's coming into me. I transfer that into my neural pathways. I feel emotions. I think thoughts. I create opinions. I have perceptions. That's all happening in my physical reality. When I went through a near-death experience and I was out of my body had died for a period of time, I returned into energy form. I was just this consciousness, a higher consciousness. I didn't have to think like I do here, because when I'm here, I have to think. I have to work out how to, my eyes are looking at something, my ears are hearing something, I'm tasting something, everything's happening at the same time, I'm breathing at the same time, everything's moving, and I have to function that way. I have to think. I have to say, like, be careful of danger, so I have to think. I judge things, right? So I will watch a conversation and make a judgment from it. I feel emotions, so I watch something and I get upset or sad or something, or I get happy and I laugh. It's all functioning. When I was not in my physical body and I was just energy, the only thing I could feel was love. And I didn't have an opinion because I didn't have an ego. I didn't have a thinking thought anymore. So when you're asking your loved ones for a message, they are not thinking in a human form like you remember them. They're in a higher place. Another way you can try to understand this is if you are alive today, do a meditation. So you could have a problem, right? You could be sitting here using your conscious brain, trying to think about a situation that you're trying to work out. Should I leave this relationship, or should I change this jobs, or I haven't spoken to somebody for 5 years and it keeps popping up in my mind. Should I speak to them? You've got something going on in your conscious mind that you're trying to work out. And it's hard because you've got emotions attached to that thought. So you're feeling something and you're trying to feel good, but you might be feeling bad. If you meditate on that question, in that meditated state, it goes past that ego thinking brain and it goes into this higher consciousness. And when you meditate on a question, you lose judgment, right? The ego stops and you lose the judgment, and all of a sudden you've just got clarity. And it all makes sense because it's coming from this place of just love and acceptance and no judgment. And the answer is just there. It's just this knowing. You don't even have to figure it out. It's just there. The same way you can meditate and you could be in pain during the day because you are physically aware of your body. And then when you're in a meditated state, the pain's gone. You disconnect again from that busy thinking brain. When you disconnect from that, you just go into that space where there is just love, clarity, no judgment, no pain, nothing's complicated, everything's easy. And the minute you drop out of the higher consciousness back into your thinking brain, it becomes complicated. You feel the pain in your body again, you feel emotions. So why, when somebody has died, are you expecting them to give you a message? Or because they're not human, they're not thinking. So this is also when we have mediums who connect, and if they say something to you like your departed relative is telling you to do, Why would they be telling you if they have no consciousness, if they have no thinking brain? So is the medium tapping into a part of who they were when they were human, what they may have said to you when they were alive? Is the medium only tapping into a residual energy of the consciousness? And the medium is not tapping into the higher consciousness of that soul, because the higher consciousness of that soul doesn't have an opinion, doesn't have a judgment. It's just sitting in a space of love. Or is the medium tapping into what you need to hear? Because you've got energy all around you. You're here. So if you were sitting there thinking, I really want to hear from my mum and I want to hear how she would solve this problem. If that's sitting in your energy field and you're sending that out, is the medium picking that up from you, not from your mum? Because this is what changed so much for me to how I used to see it, to how it now makes me see things from a point of energy. Higher consciousness doesn't have opinions. It just knows everything. It's the conscious brain that has all those thoughts. So it's interesting when you start going deeper into consciousness, higher consciousness, what actually does exist when we live. Because, when people say to me, I want a message from them, what is the message you want? Do you want somebody else to tell you that they love you, or do you just want evidence? Is it just, when you say you want a message, is it just, give me some kind of evidence that you can tap into the life that was there so that I know that there is an afterlife? Is that what you're looking for in that question? Do you expect them to solve your problems? Did they solve your problems when you were alive? So now that they've died, you still want them to solve your problems? What's that question really wanting to know? Because their energy, I've said this before, their energy is already in your aura. It's, if you remember somebody, they're in your aura today. So why are you not feeling them around you? And is there something in your thinking mind telling you that they're so far away that you need somebody else to connect you or something like that, when you are directly connected to every soul that has ever impacted on you? It's in your energy. It's all around you. So why are you needing somebody else to connect you when you have the direct connection yourself? Just tell me, when you ask the question, I want a message from them, do you think they still have a brain? Have you stopped and thought to yourself, well, they must be exactly the same in the afterlife as they were here. They must have a brain where they still think exactly the same. But then, so if they do that, what is higher consciousness? And why are you not understanding that they are in a place of higher consciousness? And if they are in a place of love with no judgment, why would they need to give you an opinion or solve anything for you? How do you see it? How do you think? Has somebody taught you? Have you been programmed to think spirit is something else? I'd like to hear from you.